Man City Football Club has a problem that not even their army of lawyers could deal with. Despite the unprecedented domination, they are still struggling for recognition. While pundits and fellow coaches sing them praises, rival fans can be mean. Though the club was founded in 1880, City are often teased about having a century of irrelevance before 2008 when Sheikh Mansour took over. In this video, we explore where Man City had been between 1880 and 2008. Before we go down the memory lane, like this video, subscribe to the channel and watch till the end. Let's go! By the time Manchester City Football Club turned 50 years old, it had claimed 4 league titles. The problem? It was the second division trophies. But at the same time, they also became the first club from Manchester to win a major trophy, the FA Cup in 1904, narrowly missing out on a league double. Not great, but not terrible for a start. But for the first consistent spell of success, Man City had to wait for almost a century, and it all began with a relegation. As City were getting used to life in the second division, new head coach Joe Mesa and his assistant Malcolm Allison took the reins, and the rise began. City won the second division in 1966 and 2 years later the first division, beating Man United to the trophy by 2 points. More silverware followed: the FA Cup in 1969, the European Cup Winners' Cup and the League Cup in 1970. Although City only won the league title once during the golden period, they came very close on a few more occasions. In 1972, they came fourth, but only a point behind champions Derby County. 5 years later, in 1977, a similar scenario was played out, Liverpool beating City to the league title by a margin of 1 point. Another remarkable campaign was 1973-74. Although the Sky Blues only ended up 14th, they relegated Man United on the final day of the season in front of Old Trafford. It was around that time the Oasis brothers Noel and Liam Gallagher started to support the club, which we have a nice video about. It was also around that time that the fortunes of both clubs started to change. United weren't yet as dominant as they would be in the 90s, but they still fared much better than the noisy neighbors. Dark years set in for Man City. The downward spiral ultimately took Man City to depths previously unknown. For the first time in history, they tasted the third tier in 1998. From there, the only way was up. Yet first they had to endure another decade of mediocrity, best encapsulated by the 8-1 Premier League defeat to Middlesbrough. It would take Premier League savants to recognize City's entire 11 from that day. The funny thing is that it was their starting 11 following a takeover. It took around £45 million to assemble the squad, no small money at the time. There is, however, an asterisk. It's not the takeover you think about. In 2007, former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra bought the club for around £80 million. But just like Shinawatra wanted the football club to prosper, he was wanted back home following allegations of corruption. Thailand's military government froze almost €1 billion of his assets, making the ownership no longer possible. And this is when Sheikh Mansour stepped in. Late in the summer of 2008, the Abu Dhabi United Group agreed the Man City deal with the beleaguered Thai businessman. The club's fans had no idea what was awaiting them. After a few years of scattergun spending, Abu Dhabi found their stride and results started to go City's way. The first stone had actually been laid by Shinawatra, who got at least one transfer right, Vincent Kompany for just £6 million from Hamburg. What followed next is a story you already know. Man City is a juggernaut with almost 20 major trophies won under the Middle East owners. Did Man City have no history before the Sheikhs' takeover in 2008? That's the wrong thing to say. But the fact is, they had never been as successful before. This, however, doesn't mean big players had never joined the club. Names like Paul Dickoff and Sean Wright-Phillips can tell something to a Premier League lover and a lot more to a boyhood City fan. Georgi Kinkladze had offers from Inter Milan and Barcelona, but decided to stay at Man City even in the second division and become an absolute legend of the main road. Names like Francis Lee, Mike Summerby or Colin Bell will tell a lot to a much older Man City or England fan. But yeah, City can now buy more stars in one transfer window than in a decade before 2008. It would probably take decades for City to be recognized as a successful and historic club on a par with Man United or Liverpool. That's because football has a fascination with natural growth, although it's naive to suggest other top clubs never spent big in their history. If you have enjoyed this episode, leave any comment below and share the video with your friends so more football fans can watch it. Thank you for your support. See you in other videos.